Hi, I'm Steph, and I'm so excited that you're here to join me for my January 2025 page reveal. It's super exciting to start off a new year with a fresh journal, and I can't wait to walk through my whole page setup for the entire month with you in this video. So thanks for being here, and let's get started. This is Journaled by Steph, a YouTube channel all about bullet journaling. Thanks for watching. All right, let's kick off with supplies. So for this particular spread, I'll be using colored pencils, my journal, of course, magazine clippings. I previously curated these, so they're kind of all collected together. I will be using a ruler plus a glue stick. I have a variety of sticker packs that I'll use. I always kind of just choose as I go which stickers, so I like to have options. I have some markers that are special kind of paint markers, metallic pens. So I'll be using those because I like how they stand out. And last but not least, I need scissors. Here is a closer look at some of the magazine clippings that I've curated for January. You'll notice that they all resemble each other in tone, and obviously there's a very strong seasonal component to them. I get asked a lot where my magazine clippings come from, and over the years I just have collected a lot of lifestyle magazines. I have also ordered archive issues on eBay because actually we don't print as many magazines these days as we used to. So some of my favorites are Sunset Magazine. That's a magazine for the Western lifestyle. I live in the West, so I like that magazine a lot. I also, of course, like Martha Stewart Living, Better Homes and Gardens, so I for sure gravitate toward lifestyle. However, there's lots and lots of options. You could totally do fashion, you could do food, you could do wildlife. So whatever your visual interests are, there's probably a magazine out there for you. Now that we're all set up, let's dive into January's cover. So all of my cover spreads have a similar formula. I have a full page image that I want to use. The size of my journal is almost always smaller, so I end up splitting the picture just like you're seeing now. I just use my fingers to kind of follow along the crease. And then, as you'll see, I'm taking this super simple slide rule that I have and trimming the top, the bottom, and then you'll see I'm going to come along and trim where you saw me running my finger. I just kind of eyeball it. I'm not super precise with it, and that's fine. Then I lay it out, use my handy glue stick, and I glue both pieces to each side of the page. I don't think I filmed this, but I do sometimes go back and use double-sided tape for the inside edge of the feature cover because sometimes it'll start popping up, and that actually gets sort of annoying when you're trying to open and close the pages. Next, I like to grab some of my washi tapes, and I just kind of hold them up to the picture and see which ones I feel like coordinate well, which ones have the vibe that I'm looking for. And in this case, I have decided on a darker tape. You can't see it super well in this video, but there's kind of a sort of a constellation pattern to it. So I'm just gonna follow along the edge. Quick tip, if you didn't cut very straight, washi tape is a really great way to kind of cover that up. And now we are moving on to the section where I actually put the name of the month, kind of in a constellation theme. I thought it would be fun to sort of have these half moon shapes. So I'm gonna play around with this gold sticker and try different variations and then figure out how to write January in between the spaces. So let's watch. And there you go. January's cover is complete. This next section is for my intro pages, and the first spread is what I call my TOC, which, confession, I don't actually think that's a great name for it. The main function of this spread is for me to kind of set up my intentions for the month. I like to write out a bucket list. Usually they're very simple things that I want to experience during the month. I usually save a space for a photo that captures the month, and that's a photo from my own photography, so not a magazine clipping. I have a little HP sprocket printer that I use, and one of those boxes that you see usually gets taken up with that picture. I sometimes will include a quote, maybe books or music or movies that I've watched. So this page serves a lot of different purposes, and it's kind of evolved through the years and probably will continue to evolve as the years go on. One of the disadvantages of using a pre-made template is that sometimes I do find myself going through and kind of editing the template away. So in this instance, I want to use a quote sticker, and I just think that the boxiness of it won't look very good. So I am taking a whiteout pen and I'm going through and removing the box lines that I drew earlier. So totally fine. Use whiteout, use pencils, erase stuff. Not a big deal. Now I'm all set up for my sticker, so I'm going to choose this kind of New Year's themed sticker. So this will be an amazing year. Set it down there. I'm going to embellish it with some of my metallic pen, drawing some stars, more star stickers, and that will finish up my TOC page for now. And the second spread is my monthly calendar, which doesn't need a lot of explanation. You'll see that I have magazine clippings. I've already glued those down, and they're very wintry as per January. Now I'm penciling in the name of the month, and then as I get closer to the month itself, I'll start filling in each of the squares with dates, engagements, stuff like that. So super simple, but very functional. And here is the finished monthly spread. So lots of fun gold accents. I did a little doodling with some of my lettering, marked my anniversary, of course, and we are all set to go. Now we're going to spend a little time with the weekly spreads. This is actually the part of my journal that I spend the most time in during the year, which is an evolution, because when I started out, I didn't spend hardly any time in the weekly spreads. But as I've gone along, I've discovered that one of the things I value most is taking notes every day. Just small little reflections, maybe just quick notes about what I did during the day, things that I'm thinking about. So that's become kind of part scrapbook, part diary, part to-do list, just whatever works for me during that particular week. So this is the first week of January, and you'll see that I'm setting it up. January does not start until Wednesday, so this is an unusual design for a weekly spread, but I am covering up the squares for 2024 because those are going to be in the last year's journal, and I will jump right in with Wednesday, January 1st. Okay, skip forward a few steps. I've added a sticker, I've added another magazine clipping, some washi tape, and now I'm going to do a custom design on my Moments to Remember square, and I'm going to use this design in every single week of January. So let's watch as I kind of sketch this out. I'm finished with my sketch, and now it is time to add some stickers. So I like to pre-place my stickers for the full month all at once, and 99% of the time this works really well for me. I confess that occasionally I will get into the week itself, maybe even months later, because I do these pages ahead of time, and the sticker just will not fit with my actual life. And in that case, I'll either take another sticker, lay it over that one, or I'll remove it, or I will change the sticker. So there's lots of things that I can do, but generally speaking, I have found that I love having this part already set up, and it just makes the process of journaling each day that much easier and that much more enjoyable. You might also notice that just like my magazine clippings, I do work to coordinate my stickers. So I like to look for tones that are the same, colors that are the same, and I do mix it up. So I don't usually take, like for instance, that top right kind of full sticker. I won't put I won't put 3 or 4 of those on the same spread. So I'll use one of those. And then I'll use one like on the bottom left that's kind of like a checklist or a gratitude list. Sometimes I'll use a circle, but I like to mix it up so that the weekly spreads don't look too repetitive. Each day kind of has its own look and feel, and there's some variety as you go through the week. Now let's move on to another spread. I've got 3 different clippings. That's about the number that I typically use for every single week. I just like the 3. It's a good balance of stickers, white space, photos. So I usually choose 3 pictures. Again, I like them to coordinate, and you'll see me kind of eyeballing. I'll move them around a little bit and see what looks the best, and then I'll start committing them to a specific space. In this instance, I'm actually going to glue this one down. I use washi tape a lot and create Peekaboo windows, which we'll look at in a sec, but depending on the size of the clipping, if it's not larger than my box, then I will just glue it down and take a sticker and put it over the top. So that's a technique that I use. Sometimes you just find a really cool clipping, but it's a little too small. So in that case, glue it down. Now that I've got my clippings down, it's time to set up the rest of the squares with stickers. A third weekly spread, same process as the other 2. So again, laying out my clippings, moving them around, finding the right space for them, adding washi tape, adding stickers. Each week is the same process, but every week looks a little bit different. Now let's look at these spreads when they're all together. So I mentioned the Peekaboo window. Here is an example of that. I like to write underneath those Peekaboos, but like we talked about, a variety of different sizes and types of stickers, lots of Peekaboo windows. I've got my design in the bottom right that you'll see on every spread. Here's another week. Same basic formula, totally different look. Third week, same formula, warm tones, personal lettering, Peekaboo windows, same design format, but very different variety of looks. Yay, we're to the feature spread. This is one of my favorite sections every month. It's where I put my goals, it's where I put my photo lists, it's where I track things. And for January, I'm starting a new technique. I've not used this, but in 2025, I'm switching it up a little bit, and I'm actually going to use the same Peekaboo technique that I've been using in my weekly spreads. So I'm going to lay these pictures out, but I'm not going to glue them down. I'm going to use washi tape so that I can fully utilize all the space on this spread, but I can still have this really strong visual punch. So you can watch, I'm laying out my pictures, kind of moving them around. My part of my creative process is that I build these pages months and months in advance. I love being able to kind of look forward to months coming up and picture myself in them. However, I don't want to commit myself to goals that far in advance. So what you'll see me doing here is I'm laying out the framework, and then I'm giving myself the flexibility to come back when I'm closer to January and actually fill in the goals and the intentions that are on my heart. So I want to invite you to watch the video that I posted along with this one. It is a bonus January video where I walk you through the specifics of the goals that I have set. And I think that will be really fun. So check out that video, also published right at the same time as this one. And here's the finished spread. So this sets me up perfectly for January. I've got some boxes to create a little bit of structure. I've got my Peekaboo windows with lots and lots of space underneath them to track goals. And just a reminder, I walk through how I build out this whole spread in a bonus January video. So check that one out right after you watch this one. And here we are. Here is the full January 2025 flip through of my setup pages. So I hope that you've enjoyed watching this process as much as I enjoyed going through it. I am really excited now to experience January, to kind of live my life in these pages. I'm really excited about all of the flexibility that this journal gives me because I'm creating it ahead of time, but by the time I get to the month, it will really be available for me. I can customize it depending on what I'm feeling at the time, at the start of the year. So thank you so much for watching as I've set up my January pages, and let's kick off a good new year. Thanks again so much for joining me on this start of a brand new year. I am thrilled that you're here, and I just want to invite you as we kick off 2025, if you would like to journal along with me, I have a free email subscription where you get access to these page reveal videos before anybody else, before they publish on YouTube. And I also include ideas to make some of these features your own. And then throughout the month, I also share additional journaling prompts, goals and intentions that I'm setting, what I'm working through. It's just a really fun way to kind of keep the conversation going throughout the course of a month. So I will link to that subscription link in the description for this video. I'd love for you to join me. And until then, I will see you in February. Bye.